Hello and welcome! I would have never imagined the rabbit hole that exists for Wii homebrew and software modding. Its history is interesting if you ever have the time to learn about it. However, wrapping my head around both how this works and what I'll need to install to get my Wii to work the way I want it to confused me while I was doing it. So today I want to show you how to install the basic software that's needed to run homebrew on your Wii and the bare minimum firmware mods that you will need that can allow you to run some homebrew games and to back up your other titles that is, to my understanding, uninstallable. But first, a quick message from this video's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by 16-Bit Store. Over the years, we have developed styluses for all of Nintendo's systems, from the original DS all the way to the new 2DS XL and even the Wii U. So if you need a new set of styluses for your own systems, why not visit 16bitstore.com today and get 15% off your next order with offer code 16bitreview when you order 2 or more items. Now before we start, I want to explain that the Nintendo Wii is a unique piece of hardware in comparison with a lot of other systems. And the homebrew developers made some pretty interesting workarounds to get what they want to work on the Wii, despite Nintendo's best efforts to stop them. As a result, the homebrew that can be installed onto your Wii has a chance to brick your system if you are not careful. In this guide, I will show you what you need to protect your Wii and to run homebrew on your system. The homebrew I will be showing you in this guide, the Homebrew Channel, Bootmii and Priiloader, is, to my understanding, uninstallable, and I will show you how to uninstall it. But be warned, Bootmii and Priiloader are designed to protect your Wii, so I cannot encourage you to uninstall them. So to get started, we will be visiting the Wii.guide website to get the latest tutorial for hacking our Wii. We'll be following the letter bomb tutorial since this doesn't require anything other than an SD card and some information from the Wii to work. First, we'll need to boot our Wii to get its MAC address. Next, we'll go into the please.hackme.com website and enter the MAC address of our Wii and cut a wire. Once the download is done, copy the files to our SD card. When completed, we'll need to get the preloader files ready to go from its GitHub page and copy them to the root of the SD card. Our software is now ready to go and we're ready to exploit our Wii. Just plug your SD card into your system, go to the messages, and open the red letter. If it worked, you'll see the Hack Me software installer. If your Wii crashes, that usually means you either entered the Wii's MAC address wrong or you've downloaded the incorrect regions, guilty of that. So just double check your information and re-download the package. And it should just work. Once Hack Me is loaded, wait 30 seconds after the software loads and read the warning. 30 seconds is a long time, so please wait. Because once you're done waiting, press the one button when prompted and congratulations, the installer will load and you are now able to install the Homebrew Channel and the Bootmii software. The Homebrew Channel is how we launch our homebrew software on our Wii, since games can launch without any additional signing information since the homebrew has already been signed. While Bootmii enables low-level system calls to your system and is an excellent tool for backing up your system NAND to assist in brick recovery. While you'll only technically need the Homebrew Channel if you want to just back up your games, I will highly encourage you to also install Bootmii and Priiloader too, since the Homebrew Channel can be used to install other packages which can brick your Wii. As well, from my testing, I think you'll need Bootmii to actually back up Wii games, but the documentation doesn't really specify, so I will be installing everything. In the installer, click Install Homebrew Channel. This will add the Homebrew Channel to your main menu. Then in the Homebrew menu, install Bootmii to boot to if it's an option for your system. This will install Bootmii to the boot process that gives your system the brick protection. But if you don't have that option, or if you want to, you can install Bootmii to iOS. Now, iOS isn't just the OS on your iPhones. In this case, it's the internal operating system modes for your Wii. The Wii can have up to 255 internal operating system or iOS installed, and Nintendo only uses a handful of these modes, leaving the rest for later updates, which never really came. However, developers have taken advantage of these unused iOS modes. However, it is because they are modifying the iOS that you will need brick protection on your Wii, which Bootmii provides. Once done, exit the software and you'll be thrown into the Homebrew channel. Next, you're going to press the home button and you'll be able to launch the Bootmii application. From there, you'll need to use the Wii's power, reset, and eject buttons to navigate the menus, or a GameCube controller to navigate the menu. Since Bootmii runs a little too low level that you actually can't use Bluetooth or the Wii remotes. From there, you'll need to go into settings and back up your system NAND. Don't worry about bad sectors, that's expected in most flash memory. When you're done, you're going to return to the Homebrew channel and install Preloader. Follow the steps, and once you're finished, congratulations, your Wii is ready to go and run Homebrew. The only additional thing I'd recommend you do is to rename the Bootmii folder on your SD card to Bootmii_disabled. Since if you installed Bootmii to boot to, it will launch the Wii into Bootmii every time, which can get annoying if you don't have a GameCube controller or want to get up to navigate the menus to launch the main menu. This is also why I installed the preloader, since you can launch this software just by holding the reset button while the system is loading. It gives you a little more advanced brick protection that isn't as low level. At this point, all the homebrew that I've shown you is uninstallable, at least if the menu options are to be believed. And for the purpose of this video, I've actually gone through and uninstalled both Bootmii, Priiloader, and the Homebrew channel, not in that order, just to make sure that my Wii didn't just brick itself. And for me, my Wii did not break. And I was able to reinstall everything without issue. But I can't really say the same thing about other homebrew and the custom iOS modes or firmware that you'll need to install to get them to work. If you do install these custom iOS and wish to uninstall them or just get your Wii back to its factory settings, there are other guides available that can assist with returning your Wii to a virgin state, but from my understanding, it's a risky process and has a very good chance of actually bricking your Wii. However, in my personal view, it's not really worth doing so, since the only reason you would ever want to not modify your system is to make sure you can still use a lot of the system's official services. And since the Wii's online services pretty much no longer exist anymore, from its online multiplayer to its online storefront, there's really no reason to get your Wii back to factory settings unless you want to sell it. So I do hope this video helps you at least get a start with your Wii's homebrew journey. And as always, I'd like to thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you have yourself a good day. And as always, take care.